What if the cruel words spoken to you as a child are still controlling your life today? What if the voice in your head isn't even yours? This is the story of Marcus, a man who discovered that the biggest battle he would ever fight wasn't against his bullies. It was against the version of himself they created. Picture this: 23 years old, dream job in software development, a girlfriend who loves him, friends who genuinely care. By every measure, Marcus had made it. But behind closed doors, he lived in an invisible prison, built from words that never stopped echoing. You're worthless. Nobody likes you. You'll never amount to anything. They weren't his thoughts. They were ghosts from his past. Every morning, staring in the bathroom mirror, he still heard them. Back to Franklin Elementary, 1998. Marcus was quiet, bookish, often wearing secondhand clothes, vulnerable, the kind of kid predators sense. One recess, while reading under the oak tree, 3 boys approached. "Look at the loser reading again," one sneered. They knocked the book from his hands, pages scattering across the dirt. Marcus scrambled to pick them up, cheeks streaked with tears and dust. The ringleader delivered the words that would haunt him for decades. "Nobody will ever like you, Marcus. You're just nothing." That moment didn't end when the bell rang. It planted a seed. Middle school made things worse. Lockers slammed, rocks thrown on the walk home, fake social media pages mocking him. By high school, Marcus didn't even need bullies anymore. He had internalized them. He became his own worst tormentor. The physical bruises faded, but the programming, the endless loop of cruelty, kept running. It followed him into adulthood. Fast forward, Marcus graduates top of his class, lands a great job, builds friendships, finds love with Lisa, a woman who sees his brilliance even when he can't. But inside, every achievement feels like fraud. The evidence, glowing performance reviews, real friends, true love. The emotion, soon they'll see who I really am. Nothing. At work, he rewrites emails 10 times, terrified of sounding stupid. In meetings, he stays silent. He apologizes so often his coworkers start counting, 28 times in one day. At night, he wakes up from nightmares, whispering, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." On paper, he's thriving. In reality, he's drowning. March 15th, 2019. Conference Room B. Marcus is ready to present an app redesign he's worked on for weeks. This should be his moment. But as he faces his colleagues, something shifts. His hands tremble. His chest tightens. The slides blur. And then he hears it. The voice from 7th grade, clear as day. "Nobody wants to hear what you have to say, loser." Marcus bolts from the room, down the hall, out the building, into his car. For an hour, he sits there convinced it's over, convinced the bullies were right. That night, Lisa finds him surrounded by old photos. "Who told you that you weren't enough?" she asks gently. For the first time, Marcus tells the full story. The bullying, the voices, the weight he's carried alone. Lisa listens. She doesn't tell him to just get over it. She says, "You've been listening to the wrong voices your entire life." She helps him find Dr. Patricia Williams, a trauma therapist. On day 1, she tells Marcus words that shift his world. "You're not broken. You're wounded, and wounds can heal." Therapy is not easy. Marcus revisits memories he buried deep. His backpack tossed in the trash, the loneliness of eating lunch alone, the sting of cruel nicknames. But for the first time, he learns those voices aren't his. Dr. Williams teaches him to pause and ask, Whose voice is that? Almost always, it's not Marcus. It's his bullies. He begins journaling. At first, the pages bleed pain, but soon he writes letters to his younger self. You are worthy. You are enough. This pain is temporary, but your strength is permanent. When self-hatred creeps in, he asks, would I say this to my best friend? The answer is always no. Slowly, compassion replaces cruelty. Marcus starts volunteering at a youth center. Teaching kids their worth reminds him of his own. Then, the breakthrough. 6 months into therapy, he realizes the bully's words had become more real than reality. But reality is clear. He has glowing reviews. He has true friends. He has Lisa's love. The evidence of his worth is everywhere. He just hadn't seen it. 2 years later, Marcus steps onto a TEDx stage. The red dot, hundreds of faces, fear rising. But this time, he breathes. My name is Marcus, he begins, and for 20 years I believed I was worthless because someone else told me I was. He shares his story, all of it. The bullying, the panic, the healing, the victory. The audience rises in a standing ovation. The talk goes viral. Millions of views, thousands write to him. You told my story. You gave me hope. Marcus's pain transforms into purpose. He founds a nonprofit. He writes a book. He helps survivors find their own voices. The boy who was told he'd never amount to anything now helps others realize they amount to everything. Here's the truth Marcus learned. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means transforming pain into wisdom. Every scar isn't weakness. It's survival. Every day you keep going despite the hurt is proof of courage. So if you hear voices that don't belong to you, voices that say you're not enough, remember, you survived your worst days. That means you're stronger than you know. Seek help when you need it. Therapy isn't failure, it's courage. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love, because your story isn't over. Like Marcus, you can rewrite it.